Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. Happy Wednesday. It is St. Patrick's Day. The cancel culture, get ready. Get ready, yep. They're upset. That leprechaun out there in green face, yeah, that's got people upset. A lot of people now coming forward saying that they're being kissed unwantedly, like Governor Cuomo, right? And I heard that the Tooth Fairy and Mother Nature have come out against the St. Patrick's Day leprechaun. Apparently, him and Santa are friends. Yeah, their wives like to go on vacation together. Santa came out in support of the leprechaun this morning, and man, is he in hot water. Apparently, The View would like to talk to him. Sharon Osbourne, she's for the leprechaun. Dr. Fauci says, hey, we should get rid of those Kiss Me, I'm Irish buttons and replace them with get your vaccination and don't stand so close to me. No word as to whether the police are going to allow for that song to be used and replace but this could be it. Who knows? This may be the last St. Patrick's Day. And of course, I'm joking. You guys will figure that out. But am I? I almost wish I didn't say it. People probably got to take it, probably start doing it, right? Why not? I don't know. Everybody's lost their mind, canceling everything, from Dr. Seuss to maybe possibly now the little green leprechauns. I'm sure the Keebler elves, yeah, I'm sure they're upset, right, giving little people a bad name. And the Me Too, they're not happy with all the Kiss Me, I'm Irish buttons. And let's not forget LBGQ. They're upset because they said that they aren't represented and that they're being repressed. Yes, the leprechauns are repressing their gay members as well. So there you have it. 800-951-0592. That is our toll-free number. And don't forget, listen, we got every Friday, we've been running these events at the radio station in Colorado. This Friday, we're going to do it again. We're going to have a movie. It was a show in the 80s. I don't want to give too much away, but Jason's got the pulse up there. This is going to be really exciting. I think a lot of you are going to love it. Dominic's Pizza in Johnstown is going to be catering the event. 2 weeks ago, we had Cafe Athens in Loveland, right? And Kerry there, he's a great guy. He said you guys supported him incredibly. Subway, they did last Friday. He was thrilled. He couldn't believe how many people came in. And now it's Dominic's Pizza's turn. Call them up. Listen, whether you go in and get a slice or you get a pie or you're doing it over the phone, tell them 1360 sent you. Thank them for supporting us. The event 5 to 9 Friday night. This is going to be another one of our movies that we're going to be showing there. And of course, obviously, I know Bucky Dillon's going to be there. Jason and Brian are going to be there. We'll have all the CBD products and all that. I want to thank everybody. Listen, these CBD products, I'm telling you, it works. I don't take handfuls of Advil or any of that stuff anymore, and it helps for so many different things. I know a lot of people, too, the pet tinctures have really taken off. Super helpful. You got an older pet, or maybe you got a pet that's, nervous. They got some anxiety. Try some CBD products. And I've told you, you guys know, and I've talked about it every day now since we've had them. This is the best of the best, period. It's the best quality. It's manufactured in the best possible way. There's no chemicals, no pesticides, none of this stuff. They take it from the flower and not the seed because it's even more pure. You're talking about the CBD, the way they do it, because I see all the labs So all their products, all of them, if they're on our website, they've been sent, the actual samples have been sent to independent labs. And I get the reports. I actually see them. And, I've got average intelligence. It's just it comes in, and they show this graph, and they list all these different chemicals, and they got THC, like the marijuana, because a lot of people, they're worried, I don't want to fail a drug test. There's none of that stuff in there. The CBD itself, I guess it makes sense. There's different purities. The higher the purity, the better the product. All of their stuff, all of their CBDs, you're talking high 90s, 97, 98% pure. It doesn't get any better than that, and our prices are they're out of this world for the quality that we're having. Go out to 1360khnc.com, hit the shop button, and try it. Listen, it may not work for everybody, but here in everybody now is getting into it. It's been amazing what it can do. I know it can help you. Give it a shot. And plus, it really does help support the radio station, which is the most important thing. And a big shout out to the guys at My Kind. We're going to get them on the air hopefully next week. And I'll let you know when that is. So you guys can, call them and talk to them directly, ask them questions. It's going to be fantastic. Paul Mista and Terry B, they're going to get them on next week, hopefully. When we get back, listen, we got a lot to talk about. What is Jay Powell going to say today? Woo! Kiss me. I'm not Irish, but I'm Catholic. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Big. Jay Powell, the Federal Reserve, the bankers, in their private meeting. If they need to be so private, why do they have a press conference all the time? Why are they out on TV all the time, trying to control the narrative? Don't we have a right to know what they're talking about? Can you imagine, what they really say in there? Because when they come out on TV, listen, they want to give you the best spin possible. Right? Because why? Well, they're in charge. All of our wealth is in there, everything. Think about all the markets. Think about what's in your bank accounts, your 401ks, your IRAs, money markets, annuities, right? Real estate. All of it dependent upon what these men and women say and do. And really, when you think about it from a financial standpoint, and again, right, what is this show about? Right? It's about your finances, right? This isn't, spiritually, morally, although you're on your own. Right? Politically, we talk about stuff. You have to. But the main focus is what? At least for this 1 hour a day. Focus on financing. And our wealth, and what is it worth? And I want to know what they're really saying. Don't we have the right to know? Right? If we're going to be upfront and honest, then let's be upfront and honest. Right? Let's be upfront and honest. They can put it on C-SPAN, right? Right? Put it on C-SPAN. What are you really saying? How bad is it really? What is the real inflation numbers? How bad is the bond market right now? And everybody I talk to, they're all saying the exact same thing. They're all worried about housing. Right? And of course, Arizona, we saw the big crash. And there's a lot of things different this time than last time. People are commenting to me, though, about the apartment complexes and how many there are. And I've said it all the time. Arizona, Phoenix is booming. We stayed open by and large People like that. It's amazing. It's amazing that people like to run businesses and go to work. People like to go out to eat and go to restaurants, and people like to go out and have a beer at the bar. But I ended up in this conversation the other day. And they were, my friends, when they were talking to me about housing, this, that, the other. And they said, last time, remember, people lined up in the desert last time. Because they were going to build 5,000 houses here and 4,000 houses there, 1,000 houses over there, blah, blah, blah. Now it's apartment buildings everywhere. And I told them, I said, because, well, let's face it, owning a house is only going to be for the few. It's just what it's going to be. Maybe if you get in a bad part of town, you can get a condo here, which is nothing but a glorified apartment, right, for a couple $100,000. Right. Outside of that, that's about it. And it's one of these things, as these guys meet in private, what are they saying about this? The American dream of, hey, we need to send check after check after check. Now the Biden administration, oh, by the way, apparently Joe Biden is actually going to make an appearance. Yes, on March 25th. That ought to be interesting. See if he takes any questions. I doubt it. This man is not in charge. Not in charge. But here's what they're really talking about. Hey, if you make less than $75,000, if you're married and between you and your wife you make less than $150,000, you're not going to have the ability to provide for your family whatsoever. You're just not going to have the ability. Right? They want to send out checks to these people, $300 a month. And if you have more kids, we'll send you more. Because they already know. And you better wake up. And I know, you know what? At 2:30 Eastern, we're going to get the best spin possible. Don't worry. He's going to tell you not to worry. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Inflation's just going to be temporary. Well, that's great. How long is temporary? Is it a month? 3 months? 6 months? A year? 3 years? 5 years? Is it 10 years? And here's the problem. Most of you, and I say most of you because most people don't listen, right? Here, what do they got on right now? I got Jeff Foxworthy's XM satellite radio. I've got the sports channel on. How are the Suns doing, right? Or I've got the 80 station on. I don't want to hear about the finance. That's too confusing. No, it's not. Here's what they're doing. Very simply put, and I told you, and again, this is exactly how they told us they weren't going to do it. When they first created this bullshit, I almost said it. Ooh, won't do it. I'm getting fired up. When they first created this 2% inflation target, I told you, now listen, this is going back 13, 14 years ago. You know what's going to happen? They're going to tell us 2%'s not enough. And lo and behold, where are we today? 2%. We're okay with it running hotter. Oh, it's going to run hotter, all right. The 10-year note today, 1.7. And again, remember, get ready. It's going to 2%. I guarantee it. The question is, does it stop there? I don't think it does. All the things that are happening today, when you sit there and you look at all the spending by Congress, you look at all what the Democrats want to do now, $4 trillion in infrastructure, another round of stimulus at the end of the year. We want to send everybody a check. Well, not everybody, just the poor people. We have a new definition of poor now. Right? Married? Anything under 150 grand, you're poor. Think about it. I know a lot of you out there are like, well, I don't feel poor yet. You're going to be. This is what is coming. This is what we need to prepare for. And we're sitting here waiting, here for this big meeting of these bankers. And they're going to come out and put their best spin on it. They change the rules all the time, right? They don't like the way the game's going. They change the rules. And I'm wondering right now, how many rules are they going to change today? Right? And you know what they talk about? They talk about, I got these tools in the toolkit. Right? And what does that mean? Hey, we're changing the rules. Because what we told you a month ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, what we told you, well, you know what? Forget that. All of our banks, when we had the financial crisis, we all remember, that was terrible. There was nothing fun or nice about it. So many people that I cared about got devastated. What did they do wrong? Nothing. They didn't do anything wrong. They did exactly what they told us to do. And then they created all these rules. But with these big banks, too big to fail. And now here we are, running trillions and trillions of dollars of debt. We got issues in the debt auction markets, all of these things. And all the central bank has done is continually change the rules that they put in place that were supposed to safeguard it from ever happening again. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. Right? They're setting us up again. And here's the thing, too. After all this spending, right, what are we starting to hear about? All the tax increases. So married with $150,000, you're poor. But if you make over $400,000, you're rich. It's getting a lot closer, isn't it? You sit there and you think about 50 or 60 million people on food stamps. You think about 20 million people getting unemployment checks. And then you start to worry about, well, okay, what does that mean for Social Security? Right? They only care about tomorrow. They only care about tomorrow. But what about next year? What about the year after? You can't create money out of thin air and have no negative consequence. But this is what they want you to believe, because when you turn on the idiot box, when we listen to this press conference later this afternoon, they're going to tell you all the great things that they've done. And act like, oh no, we were trying to save everybody. They're actually the ones causing the problem. And now guess what? They've got the right administration in place. Right? The Democrats got all the power. Right? And as we know, listen, and they both love to spend. Let's not kid ourselves. The Republicans, they're conservative financially in name only. But now the Democrats, they are going to take it to the limits. They've got the right Treasury Secretary now. Right? Janet Yellen. Go big. It's the right thing to do. Right? We have the right head of the central bank, Jay Powell. Right? What is Jay Powell doing? He's trying to make it so, guess what? It's okay that we're living way beyond our means and we're blowing up our balance sheet and we're telling you we're not raising rates forever and we're going to lie to you about inflation and tell you it's only going to be temporary. You know what else I worry about too? Taxes. How bad are the taxes going to be on our 401ks, on our IRAs, on all of these things, if you've actually been successful at all? How bad is it going to be? You know, they talk about bringing the corporate tax rate back to 28%. That's not going to solve anything. And this is really what's happening. This is the real thing that's happening. That's why I really want to hear. I love it to hear what they're actually saying. And I think the reason why you don't hear it, because let's face it, if it was great, if it was just fantastic, they'd put it out there. You know, the funny part, 30, 40 years ago, there was no press conferences. They didn't have press conferences. They met in secret. They didn't want Wall Street to be influenced by them. Now that's all they want to do. Patriot Radio News Hour. Don't touch that dial. Halftime. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Just breaking. The U.S. has issued 90 million stimulus checks. So this is not 90 million total. This is just 90 million since last week when they passed the 1.9 trillion. Now, to give you an idea of how little this is, $1.9 trillion. They've issued 90 million stimulus checks. It's only 242 billion. That's what we're talking about. That's your great. I can't give you a better example of the waste and how little, they call this COVID relief. That is pure nonsense. Think about how much they could have given. I'm just saying. If they could just give money for free and had there be no negative consequence at all, what kind of moron do you got to believe that crap? Oh, yeah. Think about how big those checks could have been if they would have said all 1.9 trillion is going to put that money in people's bank accounts. What are we talking about? $14,000 checks? Now you got $1,400. Congratulations. And who got it? About a third. About a third of the country got $1,400. And of course, you got to remember, right? And I don't know how they're counting. Is that a family counts as one? Or are you counting mom, dad, and the kids as individuals? I'm not sure how it works. Let's just say, we got 300 million people, 90 million checks already. That's already. And the amount, California by itself is getting more money than the entire country in this bill. Just so you know. Just so you know. And ask yourself this question. What would happen if we didn't give them the money? Disaster? Disaster? This is what we're talking about. All of these things that are happening. Right? All of these quote-unquote tools in the toolkit. All of these things about interest rates. Why are interest rates? Look at what they're doing. They were 0.5%. The Fed has raised interest rates exactly 0 times. 1.7 today and rising. What does that do to a house payment? Just adding 1% to your mortgage. Instead of a 3% mortgage, it's a 4% mortgage, which is still historically would be ridiculously cheap. But you got to remember now, the average price of housing was $500,000. I mean, it's crazy. Hundreds of more dollars a month. It's not good. The bond market's not supposed to act this way. We talk about it all the time. The bond market's supposed to act when the Fed acts. And the Fed keeps coming out, we're not raising rates for years, which is what they want. Believe me, they want that statement to be true. Just don't know that it is. Because the realities are the bond market, the yields and stuff, they're supposed to price risk. Wall Street is supposed to be price discovery. They want to manipulate the price. And they want to manipulate it to make it appear better than what it is. And that lasts, you can do that for a while. But now everyone's getting a little nervous. Right? They wanted to tell you, oh, don't buy gold, don't buy silver, right? Look at it, it's not performing. Oh, it's going to perform. Listen, don't worry. You know it. I know it. We all know it. It's okay. And the reason is you can hide the truth for a while, but the truth always comes out. Right? It's like cold case files. We don't know who did it. 20 years later, hey, we know who did it. It's going to happen. And it's already started, hasn't it? Right? Inflation's here. They didn't want to admit. Remember, they've been denying it. Now they finally, a couple of weeks ago, okay, it's here, but it's only temporary. All these things, all the spending, all the creating of money out of thin air. It was okay for a while, wasn't it? But now the bill's starting to come due. Now we're starting to have these problems. I'll call them the unintended consequences, but were they really? Were they really? We kind of all knew what was going to happen. Right? And think about every time they do stuff, how much bigger it is. Remember the first bailout back during the housing financial crisis? It was $700 billion. That was it. We just did $1.9 trillion. And before that, we did $900 billion. And before that, we did, $2 trillion? I mean, think about it. I think we've spent $6 trillion so far. And our first bailout, $700 billion. This is how much bigger the problem has gotten. How much more is there to go? We're already kind of pulling on that string, aren't we, right now? We're seeing it now. It's like, no one really liked that $1.9 trillion. And look at what they're talking about. Hey, we're getting ready. We got infrastructure next. We want $4 trillion there. We got another round of bailouts, right? Because this money, by the way, this 90 million stimulus checks, the unemployment stuff, that gets us to August. Just so you know. They need more bailouts. They're going to get them. We can't stop this. This is why, listen, they figured it out. They got the right patsy in place. Right? Joe Biden doesn't know his hand from his ass. We all know that. Nice man, maybe. The guy's been a career politician, 50 years in politics? Doesn't even know what day of the week it is. They've got control of the House. They've got control of the Senate. And it's just the way they wanted it to be. They've got the lunch lady, Janet Yellen, at the Treasury, and she's like, no, this is great. We're going to be in for something, and I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be bad. How will it manifest itself? Who knows? But I know this. Before the end of this Biden presidency, it'll have collapsed. And if you have that gold and silver before the collapse, you're going to be a winner. Because let me tell you right now, and I believe this wholeheartedly, after the collapse, that's when you want to go the other way. A lot of things will be on sale again. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll have a special coming up next. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Whew, man, busy. I'll tell you what the specials are today. They got a lot smaller. We have people walking through the door almost every day now. Just putting gold away, putting silver away. Everybody, rightfully so. Listen, they get it. Taxes are going up. I think they're going to go way up. Inflation is and inflation, is it going to be hyperinflation or stagflation, right? You can debate that. I think it's going to be stagflation, which is maybe the worst kind, right? Because that means prices are rising, but your paychecks aren't. Prices are rising, but your purchasing power isn't. Like the 70s, you had both. You had hyperinflation, which meant, hey, prices were rising, but so was your income. The only way now we can get incomes to rise is for governments to send checks, right? Which is kind of a double negative. Now you got to pay the interest. Just what, in the last 90 days, give or take, we've added about 250, 300 billion to the deficit number by these rates rising. And today they get rising at 1.7 now. I have 40 $20 gold pieces. It's all I've got left. I have 40 $20 gold pieces. This we bought out of an estate. They're 1995. But I only have 40 of them. That's it. I don't have 41, 40. I got 40 of them at 1995. Yesterday we ran the 10s at $1,000. I mean, this is red hot pricing in gold. There is no gold anywhere. You know the only gold, modern gold I can get right now, an Australian kangaroo. That's it. No mints have any gold. Silver. This one's actually a pretty good deal too. I'm surprised. I've got 200 rolls. And these rolls are available in Phoenix and Colorado, but I've got 200 rolls total of $50. It's been a while for the $50. They're $260 a roll today. Take $10 off. So $250 a roll for $50. I've only got 200 of them. Basically, 100 rolls of halves is a full bag. So I've got 2 bags of $50. This did not come. My guy has cut me off. Well, and I shouldn't even say he's cut me off. The prices he wants are just, I don't want to do them. These, again, I bought outside of. It's a limited opportunity, but take advantage of it. So you got 2 great items on the gold side. $20 gold pieces below $2,000, 1995 on 20, but I've only got 40. That's it. I've got 200 rolls, $50. Save $10 a roll. That's, on a roll of half, saving $10. That's like saving $1.40 an ounce. That's a lot. That's a lot off. So $250 a roll on the half dollars. $19.95 on the $20 gold pieces at 800-951-0592. Gold and silver are not doing anything. They're just hanging out, waiting for the press conference. Silver's $26. Gold is just under $1,730. And again, Wall Street mixed. The NASDAQ's down. So this kind of looks like how Wall Street's playing it. The S&P and the NASDAQ don't like higher rates. The Dow's only up 50 points. The Dow's not going to like it either, but that's how it's been playing out. Very interesting to see. And again, none of this matters. This big dog and pony show, right, that's going to happen here in a couple of hours, it has no relevance. Our system is broken. We know it's broken. We're living way beyond our means. And they're trying to tell you that there's no consequences for what they're doing. Even though for thousands of years, right, there's always consequences when you create too much money out of thin air. What happens? It goes to zero. And I think this is it. This is the plan. They want to go to a digital currency. They want more control. They want to control every aspect of your life. In our life, think about what digital currency really means. Outside of Big Brother, right? The spying, right? They can, they want to get rid of, by the way, guns, right? That's next too. I didn't even talk about that. They're going to take away the guns. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Digital currency just makes that so much easier, doesn't it? But here's the other part. Now the Federal Reserve has total power. The interest rate thing that they told us they could start and stop the economy by raising and lowering rates, that was false. That was made up crap. Now, when they go to digital, they just change the exchange rate. Simple. They'll get inflation. It'll be easy. All of a sudden, the dollar is going to buy 10% less starting now. Oh, that didn't work. How about 10 more percent starting now? This is the ultimate control. And, of course, what are they telling everybody? These 90 million checks, man, we could have had that done a couple weeks ago. The second Joe Biden sent it, I could have made a call. Hey, press the button, and you would have had. Look how convenient that would be. You don't have to worry about your bank, right? And setting up the process. We'll just put it right in there. Look how convenient that's going to be for you. It's not going to buy you anything. Don't you get it? The more the government tries to hand out money to reward failure, the less it buys. Period. All these checks, all this spending, just makes the value of what we work for worth so much less. So much less. And look at how much they're spending now. I mean, what's the government going to spend this year? $8-9 trillion? It's like 40% of the economy. I hope you're prepared. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Already half a bag of the half dollars gone. We got 150 rolls of half dollars on sale at $250 a roll. You're saving $1.40 an ounce on the sale today. The $20 gold pieces. We started the day with over 60 of them. Right now, it looks like we got 35 20s left, 19.95 at 800-951-0592. The gold's coming out of an estate the silver. Both Colorado Phoenix, we have silver halves in stock, but I've got a couple of bags en route here. So they'll be available quickly, I guess is my point. 800-951-0592. The Bullion Bank, again, there's just nothing out there. But demand has been unrelenting. Poland today announced they have repatriated 100 metric tons of gold from England. They also announced that they are going to be buying another 100 metric tons of gold over the next 2 years. Be ready. Listen, that's Poland's adding another 33% to their reserves. And again, we talked about how India was big into the market. We know what China's been doing. Listen, all of these countries, they're all getting ready. They're all getting ready. The Europeans, during the 90s and the early 2000s, they would sell 500 metric tons of gold a year. Nobody sells any gold anymore. No central bank. No, not one is selling gold. And I mean, in Venezuela may sell a little. They got different problems, but they're not selling. Nobody's selling. What are they doing? Buying. And how many countries now is it? 40, 50, 60 of them now that are all buying gold? Right here, they're making conscious decisions. I could buy U.S. Treasuries. That's what they would do. What did Poland buy before the 100 tons of gold? What were they buying? European bonds, U.S. bonds. What are they saying now? I'd rather have gold. I'd rather have gold. That's exactly what happened when Richard Nixon closed the gold window in 1971. All through the 60s, all the central banks were like, I don't want dollars, I want gold. Gold went from $42 to $800. Are we going to see another spike like that? Probably. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. God bless everybody. We'll be back tomorrow.